Hi, guys, and welcome to Finish It Friday, episode 153. So, here's where we left off on Wednesday. So, we have our base card. The surface of the base card is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We have a 1 3/4 by 3 1/2 piece of designer series paper or cardstock. We have a 2 by 2 piece of cardstock, and we have a 1/2 inch by 5 1/2 DSP or cardstock, and then a scrap as needed for a greeting if necessary. All right, so my friend Marguerite suggested that we do like a book binding fold. So we're going to do it that 1/2 inch that's the same as this. So we're doing the 1/2 inch and scoring it there. If this was a full card base, then you would glue that down and that would be your book bind. All right. Then what I'm also going to do, sorry, that was very loud. Let me grab from underneath here some Post-it notes. I'm going right up to that fold line, the Post-it note. I'm going to go this way so I can see that line a little bit better. Now we're going to be covering this up with the designer series paper, but I want to have that crisp line when we stamp. So I'm going to do this. That's not even. That's still not even. What is going on with my contacts today? All right, that's close enough. Still a little off, but could just be my contacts too. All right, so anyway, that's not perfect, but we'll get there. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to grab my fresh freesia. I think this is really Highland Heather, but the way we stamp, I want to do the fresh freesia just for that lighter look. I'm going to grab, this is from the Stripes and Dies. This is in the annual catalog. And I'm going to go ahead, ooh, that was loud, sorry. I'm going to go ahead, ink it up. I want a very light background, so I think I'm going to stamp it off once. And then I'm going right over the top. Let's do that again. Stamp off once. Right over the top. Hopefully my scraggly hair is not getting in the camera view and distorting the camera because I didn't look over to see. All right. So there we have that. Need to clean that later. Here's my book bind. Remember, if this was on a card base, this would be glued down. And that's would be how it opens up. All right, let's go ahead. And I want to get way up to that corner line, and I know this one's getting low. So I'm going to go right up to that line like such. But so it doesn't squish out, I'm going to let it set for a second. This one's really low. That way it becomes a little bit more tacky and is less likely to squish. Okay, while that is drying, put that over here. Let's go ahead and grab our saying. Trying to think. I think I'll, just because the examples I show you uses the die, well, one of them uses the dies from this. I think we're going to use, oh, yeah, maybe not. let's just see if I have. Let me go to my Simply Said, because that's my go-to. And I'm going to do just a note, because that's going to be a pretty good size for that. All right, so let's go ahead and let's stamp that just a note. And I'm going to do this at the top of this 2x2, only because I'm going to put jewels below it. Oh, a little crooked. I'm going to try it again, and if it's not any better, we'll just go with it. Let's see, my square is square, so. All right, we'll go with it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put that on as soon as we get the others. Let's go ahead and grab our embellishments and put them on while we wait for that glue to set up just a little bit more. So these are the purple fine shimmer. They're in the annual catalog, and I'm going to take, just put my hand in the glues, but you can see that it's pretty set up. So let's put that one in the middle, and we'll put the two lighters on either side. Right. That away. Okay. All right, so now I think that that's tacky enough that we can go ahead and lay this down. Just because it's on that bookbinding, that's why I wanted to get tacky. So in case I had to shift it a little, which I do because I didn't get right up to the edge. And there you go. And see, since I let that sit for a while, no squishing, no oozing out. And now that goes right up to the edge. So there's your book bind. All right, let's go ahead. And I think, ooh. I should have used the other side. There's a little bit of a scratch there, but we'll leave it. We'll leave it. This, since I'm not too worried about it, we're going to go straight down. I'm going to come up a little though, because I did kind of leave a little bit of a space there. And let's go ahead and put this one right over the top there. And there you have it. There's that. Like I said, I'm just doing them not as cards, just so it's easier to store. But if you would get this, you would go ahead, you would glue down this, you would have to rescore, and then there's your card. But I'm just doing it like that for right now. Let me show you the other examples that I did. Okay, this one I used, let me see if I can grab it really quick. This, I believe, is still Christmas word. Oh, no, this is not the one I used. I used the other one. Okay, let me see. Here it is. This is the Thoughtful Moments hybrid that I ran through. Show you. See, there's the hello that's underneath there. There's the love you. There's the happy. And I did birthday wishes from the Simply Said stamp set. So that was my background. But yes, there is a Christmas one also similar to that. All right. And then this was using the not put it back? Yes, I did. This is using the Sunflower Daisy 3D embossing folder to do that. And then just a few embellishments from the In Color Flat Pearls. All right, here's the one. I am not a fussy girl. I like quick, simple, good looking. This was fussy, just so you know. So I used that corner die from Snowflake Wishes, Snowflake Kisses. So this cuts out, and I'll show you. Let me bring this other one. This cuts out here. So these all fall out, but it doesn't, if you went right up to the edge, it looked like it'd be on the edge. I didn't do it right on the edge. Then all the pieces fell out, and so I took these pieces. So I cut into this. I actually did as a full card afterwards because you need something to stick the inlays on. But I actually cut them out of the soft seafoam, took all those little pieces, cut it out of this bubble bath, and then inlaid, which was quite fussy, more fussy than I usually do. Then I took these 3 snowflakes, cut them out of, I thought I was grabbing bubble bath, but I grabbed Pretty in Pink. See the little difference there? But then I did those. These are our 1 3/4 by 3 1/2. This is our 2 by 2. So then I cut those and inlaid them. And so then there's the leftovers from cutting out of there. So this was not a 5-minute card like I like to do. This was a little bit longer. And because I ran the 2 dies through at the same time, it kind of stretched my paper a little bit. That's why you see a little bit of a shadow. So yeah, that one's perfectly inlaid. And then this one, there's a little bit of a shadow. Because as I ran those through, it stretched out my paper. But still, a good look. All right, guys. Go ahead and give me that thumbs up. I worked hard for it. You send me a comment, share on your social media. Most of all, have a great Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.